presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you for your answers.
Yes.
Thanks. Thanks, ma'am. So we'll start our session. So I have started about chemical bonding. Chemical bonding. We are studying about chemical bonding. Even when I say about bond means nothing but force of attraction. Bond is nothing but force of attraction. Now there are different types of bonds. One is ionic, next one is covalent, next one coordinate covalent bond, coordinate covalent, next one is metallic bond, next one is hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding. We are going to discuss one by one in detail. I think someone is joining the meeting. Okay, now we are discussing about one by one. So what we are going to do is, why do atoms combine? Yesterday I have said atoms in elemental, few elements only, few elements in nature exist in elemental form. In nature exist in elemental form. Rest of them, rest elements combine with same element. Rest elements combine with same element or different element or different elements or different elements to form molecules. To form molecules. Now we'll try to understand why do atoms combine to form molecules? Why do atoms combine to form molecules? To form molecules. This is one question. Now before going to this question, we'll try to understand. See, in a molecule there are different atoms. In molecule there are different atoms. The force which is holding these atoms together in a molecule is called as bond. The force holding atoms in a molecule is called chemical bond. I can also write the force of attraction. The force of attraction holding atoms in a molecule is called as chemical bond. Right. Now I'll go back to this question. The question what I raised is, why do atoms combine? Why should they combine? See, why they'll combine is to attain stability. To attain stability. When they will be stable? If they have 8 electrons in valence shell. If they have 8 electrons in valence shell. Valence shell is also called as, what is the other name for valence shell? Am I audible? Outermost shell.
Yes, sir.
Did you remember? Outermost shell. So when this atom will be stable is, if they have 8 electrons in the valence shell, then they will be stable. Up to now, any doubts, children? Up to what I have concised the data. Do you have any doubts in this part? Can I take new page?
One.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Rudolph, you can take down. I don't have any objection. You can ask me if you are writing down. You can ask me, sir. Wait, then I'll wait. If you have done, say me.
Completed.
Done. We'll deal about this. Now, what I'm saying is, why atoms are combining? Why atoms are combining to attain stability? To attain stability. This is what the explanation. We all try to get stability, right? How we'll get stability when our energy is low? I have explained one more concept. Energy is inversely proportional to stability. This is another factor. We'll understand this to attain stability. Now we know inert gases are stable. Can you say inert gases? Which inert gases we have studied? Inert gases are stable. How you know they are stable? Because they do not react. Because they do not react. Now next, why they are not reacting? Because they are stable. Now what is the reason for their stability? Reason for their stability. I said atoms are combining. Why they are coming? To attain stability. This is our primary understanding. Okay. Now we'll see about inert gases. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are inert gases. These inert gases will not react. Will not react with other. Will not react with other elements. With other elements, nor with same elements also. These are monoatomic gases. Monoatomic gases. Monoatom. Only one atom will be there. Why they are not reacting? Because they are stable. Because they are stable. Now the point is, we'll try to understand why these are stable. Because why these are stable is they have 8 electrons in valence shell. Because they have 8 electrons in valence shell. That is why they are stable. Valence shell. The valence shell is also called as outermost shell. Outermost shell. Suppose when we see about this inert gas configuration, except helium, all have 8 electrons in their valence shell configuration. Suppose if I write neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, their general electronic configuration will be ns2 np6. ns2 np6. If you count the number of electrons in the valence shell, we will be having 8 electrons. Having 8 electrons in valence shell is called as octet configuration. Having 8 electrons in valence shell is called octet configuration. Octet configuration. Now having 2 electrons, see, helium will be having 2 electrons, that is called as duplet configuration. Duplet configuration. We'll study about this helium separately. Now inert gases are stable. Inert gases are stable. Why they are stable? Because they have 8 electrons in valence shell. That's why they are stable. Having 8 electrons in valence shell is called as octet. Rest of the elements, rest of elements will not have 8 electrons in valence shell. Will not have 8 electrons in valence shell. In valence shell. That is why they react. That is the reason they are not stable. That is the reason they are not stable. So what these elements will do, what these elements will do is, these elements which elements apart from inert gases, that is what I'm saying. These elements means I'm mentioning the elements apart from inert gases try to attain octet configuration. Octet configuration. What is octet configuration, children?
Having 8
What
electrons
is octet configuration?
in the valence shell.
Having 8 electrons. So thank you. Good answer. So rest of the elements does not have 8 electrons in the valence shell. They are trying to get 8 electrons in the valence shell. If they get 8 electrons in the valence shell, they are stable. Now, this is the logic why elements are combining. Understood, ma? Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Can I proceed? Can I take new page?
Yes, sir.
Okay. These all write down, ma. See, I am not writing very fast so that you may not be able to copy. So write down in your book. Right. What I am saying is, so we understood all the elements except many elements, Henry. Many elements try to attain octet. Try to attain octet. Will try to attain octet because they don't have octet. If they get octet, they'll become stable. So all elements try to get stable. So what they will do, they will try to get octet. So how they can get octet? There are two ways of getting octet. One is, there are two ways of obtaining octet. One method is by sharing of electrons. One method is by sharing of electrons. The other method is by transfer of electrons. First method is by transfer of electrons. By transfer of electrons, octet can be attained. Octet can be attained. This is one method of attaining octet. Second method is by sharing of electrons. By mutual sharing of electrons. By mutual sharing of electrons, octet can be attained. Octet can be attained. If octet is attained by transfer of electron, this is called as ionic bond. This is called as ionic bond. If octet is attained by sharing of electron, this is called as covalent bond. Understood? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Can I proceed?
No, sir.
Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
New page. Right. Now, before understanding this, I'll try to write a logic. Remember this logic yesterday also I have written. If there is element A, if there is element A, another element is there, element B. Element B. If electronegativity difference, I'm talking about here En. What is En? Electronegativity. Electronegativity. If element A electronegativity is low, element B electronegativity is high. Electronegativity is high. Now it forms ionic bond. It forms ionic bond. Now, if electronegativity is high, if A element electronegativity is high, B element electronegativity is high, it will form covalent bond. I'll give examples also. It will form covalent bond. If both the electronegativity, this is En electronegativity. This is En. If both the electronegativity is low, it is going to form metallic bond. Suppose let me take this example, NaCl. Sodium will be having low electronegativity. This is high electronegativity. The bond formed between them is ionic bond. Suppose when you take one chlorine, another chlorine, the electronegativity difference is 0. Why? Because they are similar atoms. So here, if there is the bond formed between them will be covalent bond. Suppose I'll write sodium and sodium. Two sodiums are there. Both of them have low electron negativity. If both of them have low electronegativity, which type of bond exists them? Metallic bond. Clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Now we will study in detail about ionic bond, then covalent bond. So keep subheading ionic bond. Can I take new page?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your answers. Keep subheading ionic bond. What is meant by bond? What is meant by bond? Attraction. That's all. The electrostatic attraction between I'm giving statement, children. The electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions formed by electrostatic force of attraction. Whenever I use electrostatic force of attraction, means it is attraction between charges. The electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions. How these oppositely charged ions are formed? Are formed by transfer of one or more electrons from outermost shell of a metal, into outermost shell of non-metal atom into outermost shell of non-metal atom is called as ionic bond. What is the other name for ionic bond, children? Yesterday I have said the other name for ionic bond is also called as electrovalent bond. Is it clear?
Yes,
Now
sir.
I'll explain this. Suppose let me take an example of Na. So the ultimate aim of formation of bonds is about attain octet. Now let me take example of sodium. I'll write, see which electrons will involve in bond, which electrons will be involved, or which electrons are transferred. Here I am saying electrons are transferred, one or more electrons are transferred. The electrons which are present in outermost shell only will involve in bonding. The electrons which are present apart from outermost shell will not involve in bonding. So if I write sodium, atomic number of sodium is 11. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. Now sodium, last shell, it is having one electron. Actually, sodium will be stable if it has 8 electrons in valence shell. It has 8 electrons in valence shell, but it is having 1 electron. Gaining 7 electrons is not possible. So what it will do is, if it loses this electron, This will be its last shell. In the last shell, it will be having 8 electrons. That is why sodium will lose electron. Sodium will lose electron, or else sodium will transfer electron. Now I'll take the counterpart of it. Counterpart is chlorine. If I write chlorine, electronic configuration of chlorine, atomic number is 17. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. This is the last shell. Last shell is having how many electrons there? It is having 7 electrons in last shell. Now we require one more electron to get octet. So what it will do is, as sodium is transferring electron, this chlorine will accept electron from sodium. So if it is accepting electron from sodium, it will get which? It will get which? How many electrons? 8 electrons. Now, sodium lost electron. If any atom loses its electron, it forms cation. So sodium forms a cation. It has lost electron. Now chlorine gained electron. Whenever an atom gained electron, it will get a negative charge, which is called as anion. Now, in these both ions, there will be some force of attraction because they are oppositely charged ions. They have some force of attraction. This force of attraction is called as ionic bond. This force of attraction is called as ionic bond. Now I'll go to the statement. See, it is an electrostatic force of attraction. It is electrostatic force of attraction between oppositely charged ions. What are the oppositely charged ions here? Cation and anion. It is electrostatic force of attraction between oppositely charged ions. How these ions are formed? That's what I am explaining here. Formed by transfer of one or more electrons. Here, how many electrons are transferred? One electron is transferred. Here, one electron is transferred. So, formed by transfer of one or more electrons. From which electron it is transferred? Is these electrons are transferred? No. The electrons which are present in outer shell only transferred. So, by transfer of one or more electrons from outermost shell of metal atom, this is transferring one electron which is present in outermost shell to where it is transferring? It is transferring to another atom. Where this is transferring to another atom, that too in the outermost shell. That is the statement of it. Shell of atom into outermost shell of non-metal. We know sodium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. Simply we can say ionic bond will be found between metal and non-metal. Between metal and non-metal. Understood the statement and this one? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Can I
No,
proceed?
sir.
Now, in this formation of ionic bond, so this is called as ionic bond. See, covalent bond we will write like this. Suppose if I write HCl, it is a covalent bond. This bond representation. Bond means electrons will be there. If ionic compounds, I will not write bond. I'll just simply write this positive ion and negative ion, and they'll say it is force of attraction. We won't write like this bond in between ionic bond. Generally we write, but actually there is not correct representation. It should be like this, plus and minus. Right. In formation of ionic bonds, the number of electrons transferred between the elements, is called as electrovalency. Or ionic valency. Electrovalency or ionic valency. Now look here. Sodium transferred how many electrons? 1. That is why its electrovalency is 1. Chlorine accepted how many electrons? 1. How many electrons are transferred between them? This is transferring 1 electron. It is receiving 1 electron. So the number of electrons transferred between elements is called as electrovalency. Or also you can say, instead of writing elements, we can also say the number of electrons transferred between ions of elements is called as electrovalency or ionic valency. Here, how many electrons are transferred? 1 electron is transferred. So its electrovalency is 1 or ionic valency will be equal to 1. These both are same. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Can I proceed? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. New page.
Yes, sir.
We'll try to understand. I'll give one more example. I'll try to give one more example. MgC2. MgCl2. How this MgCl2 will be? First I write Mg. Mg atomic number is 12. 1s2, 2s2, p6, 3s2. In valence shell, how many electrons are there for magnesium? 2. Now it should have 8 electrons. That is octet, but it is having 2 electrons. Suppose if it loses this electron, this will be its valence shell, and in valence shell it is having 8 electrons. That is why magnesium wants to lose the electrons, 2 electrons. Now chlorine is here. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 2p6. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. There was a network issues. So I was talking, but I didn't even recognize that. Uh, I didn't even recognize that I was out of the meeting. I got a message from a student. Thank you for your message, ma. At least I could recognize it. Now look here. See, do you have anyone have doubt in this part, ma? Am I able?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sir.
No doubt, sir.
Electrovalency of magnesium is 2. Why electrovalency of magnesium is 2? Because it has transferred how many electrons? 2 electrons. What is electrovalency of chlorine? Answer fast. Am I in meeting? Again I am out. I am in meeting. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Same. What is electrovalency of chlorine? Electrovalency of chlorine is 1. Why? Because only 1 electron is transferred to each chlorine. Clear, ma? Understood? Anyone have doubt?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now we will study about factors which are favorable for formation of ionic bond. Yes. So, did you understand about ionic bond? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Now we will study what are the factors favorable for ionic bond formation. Factors favorable for formation of ionic bond. Factors favorable for formation of ionic bond. Here, from this part only questions will be asked, children. Be careful. From this part only question will be asked. Now, I will say about first cation, formation of cation. If formation of cation, now simply I will say ionic bond as it is force of attraction. Force of attraction. Which force of attraction? Electrostatic force of attraction. Static force of attraction between cation and anion. Between cation and anion. It's an electrostatic force of attraction between cation and anion. If cation and anion are formed easily, ionic bond also will be formed easily. Are you following me what I am saying? If cation and anion are formed easily, ionic bond also will be formed easily. So I am saying factors which will enhance the formation of cation easily. So formation of cation. For formation of cation, IP values should be low. IP values should be low. If IP value is low, cation formation will be easy. See what is meant by cation? I have to remove one electron from this. I have to remove one electron. Suppose if IP value is high, I should give more energy to remove electron. I should give more energy to remove electron. That means cation formation is not so easy. So ionic bond will not be formed so easily. So if it has low IP, if IP is less, cation can be formed easily. Cation can be formed easily. Cation can be formed easily. Now, see, questions can be based on this. Na plus K plus and CS plus, and I can take RB also, RB plus and CS plus. Which cation can be formed easy, children? Which cation? CS plus can be formed easily. Why? Because IP values in group decreases. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. From here to here, IP values will decrease. Why IP values will decrease? Because nuclear charge will decrease. IP values will decrease. So this is having low IP. That is why it can form cation easily. So it can form ionic bond easily compared to rest of them. Clear? Understood?
Yes.
Next.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your answer. This is first point. Formation of cation. If cation is formed easily, ionic bond will be formed easily. If cation should be formed easily, IP value should be low. Next factor I will see. Next factor is low charge. So here I will relate large atomic size. Large, both will be same. Large atomic size. If atomic size is large, nuclear charge will be less. If nuclear charge is less, IP will be less. So cation can be formed easily. Cation can be formed easily. Understood? See, in this, which cation can be formed easily? This one. Why? Because here atomic size is large. Suppose I'll write this is a nucleus. Here one electron is there. This is another nucleus. This electron is there. In this both attraction is more. Here attraction is less compared to this both. So I can remove this electron easily compared to this. If I am able to remove this electron easily, here IP values is less. IP value is less. Anyone have doubt in this part?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So what one is IP should low. So second factor, large atomic size. Can I take new page, children?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now one more point I'll say. Low charge on ion. Low charge on ion. What is this low charge on ion? Suppose Al plus 3 is there. Mg plus 2 is there. And Na plus is there. Which ion can be formed easily? Na plus can be formed easily. So Na, that's what I'm saying. Low charge on ion. From this I can write an relation magnitude of cation, magnitude of positive charge. Magnitude of positive charge is inversely proportional to ionic nature. Understood what I'm saying? This cation can be formed easily. Why this cation can be formed easily? I can give two reasons. One is I can say about size. The sodium will be having smaller size. Magnesium will be having bigger size than aluminum. One is size, I can say. Next one I can say about charge. I can remove one electron easily. Removing two electrons is difficult. Removing three electrons is more difficult. So which cation can be formed easily? This cation can be formed easily compared to rest of them. Next, one more reason I can say. First reason I have said about size. Second reason I have said about charge. Next reason I can say IP values. Which IP values will be low? Sodium IP values will be low. Why? Because when you move from left to right, IP values will increase. When you move from left to right, IP values will increase. So we'll be writing like this, right? Sodium, magnesium, like aluminum 13th group, IP values. So this is another point, magnitude of positive charge. If magnitude of positive charge is more, cation formation is difficult. Is Not easy. Not easy. Clear, children? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Rest of,
Yes, sir.
rest of you, no?
Yes, sir.
So can I see up to now we have discussed about factors favorable for formation of cation. Now we'll discuss about factors influencing formation of anions. Factors influencing formation of anions. Factors favorable for formation of anion. If anion is formed easily, the ionic bond also will be formed easily. Here the first factor what I said is high electron affinity. High electron affinity. What is electron affinity? The amount of energy released when an electron is added to an atom. Some amount of energy will be released. If any atom is having high EA, it will readily accept electron. High EA readily accept electron. That will readily accept electron. The example what I can give here is if I take Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, which anion can be formed easily here?
Cl minus.
Cl minus. Cl minus. That Cl minus can be formed easily compared to Br minus and I minus. Done? Yes or no? Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next here only I can give small size of atom. Small size of atom. Now look here. This is ulta. For cation, IP value should be large. IP value should be large. If IP value should be IP value should be low. If IP value should be low means size should be more. Size should be more for formation of cation. Now when I come for anion, which factor I'm going to see? Electron affinity. Electron affinity should be high. When electron affinity will be high? If size is small. If size is small, electron affinity values will be high. See, electron affinity, see, what is when electron affinity values will be more means if more attraction is there, more attraction between nucleus and electron, more attraction is between nucleus and electron. That is why you should study periodic classification very thoroughly, children. More attraction between nucleus and electron, EA value will be high. Suppose if I take this atom and I will take this atom. Now I have added one electron. Here also I have added electron. Where electron will be strongly attracted? Case A, case B. Where electron will be attracted strongly? Where at B. Why? Because the distance is less. Here distance is more. Here attraction will be more. If attraction is more amount of energy will be released. Attraction is more. Attraction is more amount of energy is released. More energy is released. If more energy is released, EA value will be high. EA value will be high. Any doubts in this one?
No, sir.
Thank you. The order of formation of ions. F minus, Cl minus, Br minus. Which ion can be formed easily? Which ion can be formed easily? Questions will be based on like this only, not like give the statement of it. Which ion can be formed easily? Think and say.
Cl, sir.
Cl will be formed easily because its electron affinity will be more. Cl minus will be formed easily than F minus than Br minus. Clear, children?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have doubts?
No, sir.
Right. Next one more factor which I can say is charge on anion, low charge on anion. Low charge on anion. Now F minus L, right? F minus O minus 2, N minus 3. Which ion can be formed easily, children? F minus can be formed easily. Why? Because I can add one. If I want to add one more electron here, see, fluorine is here, oxygen is here, nitrogen is here. This does not have any charge. I'm adding one electron, so it became negative charge. I can add here. To make this ion, already it is having negative charge. I have to add another electron. This is not so easy for me. Why? Because these both will undergo repulsion. Now, if I take N minus 3 means already is having minus 2 charge. I want to add one electron to this. I cannot add electrons so easily. This both will undergo strong repulsions. Understood? Low charge on anion. Now, here itself, I'll conclude. Cation, IP value should be less, size should be less, charge should be less. Sorry, IP value should be less, size should be more, charge should be less. If I take about anion, I'm concising my. If you remember these both, that will be more than sufficient. When you take about anion, EA should be more, size should be small, charge should be small. These two, if you're able to remember these two, that is more than sufficient. Understood? Anyone have doubt in this part?
No, sir.
See, majorly, if you study perfectly about periodic properties, rest of the chapters understanding will be easy. Rest of the chapters understanding is easy. If you are still having doubt in periodic properties, rest of the chapter will be tricky. So this chapter, which chemical bonding, is also major. It is also having fundamentals for rest of the chapters. These both chapters, be very careful. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So the next factor which we have to study is lattice energy. Next factor what we have to study is lattice energy. This also will influence the formation of ionic bond. So we have studied about two factors for formation of ionic bond. One is formation of cation. Next one is formation of anion. These both should be, if this cation and anion is formed easily, ionic bond formation will also be easy. Next, lattice energy also will influence the formation of ionic bond, that we are going to discuss tomorrow. It's a little bigger topic. I think my 20 minutes it will take. If I start that, I cannot end. So that's why if you have any doubt, you can raise. I'll explain the doubts. If you don't have doubts, you can